Mm-hmm. All right, let's see here. Okay, wait. All right. Can y'all hear me now? Anybody? Somebody said lip reading, lip reading special night. Is that it? Somebody said good, better, great. Yeah. Uh, my microphone has a tendency to do that. It has a mind of its own, and I don't like that. I don't like it at all. It doesn't give me no indicator, nothing. If it wasn't for you guys telling me, I'd just keep talking. So I appreciate that. I hate to have to draft y'all into like the sound studio and put y'all on the staff where you're like, all right, we're all now doing sound check. We thought we were just here to check out a show. Now we're working. I don't want to do that to y'all. But thank you for letting me know. Now we got to finish up what we were talking about last night, y'all, because things are getting pretty serious. Things are getting pretty darn serious. And last night I talked about how I'm not ashamed of the Trump train. I ain't afraid to be on that train right there. Hopefully that train's going somewhere. And they're doing everything to derail it, to jump it off the tracks, to stop it, because they know what comes along with that train. See, it ain't gonna just be a small explosion like over here in Ohio. If Trump managed to bring that in to the port, it's going to be a problem. If he brings that train into the station, it's going to be a problem. And the Democrats, the globalists, they all know it. Of course, George of the Jungle, Dr. Evil, he knows it. Many people know it. I think fool Trump once, shame on y'all. Fooling twice, shame on him. I think he understands the level of evil that he's up against, but I definitely understand it. I showed y'all that last night in my show when we brought forth new information that talked about what took place on J6. All of those FBI and other agencies planted in that crowd. Then I went on to try to help out Raggedy Ray and, of course, Mayor Garbage by showing video and pictures of people who helped egg on that insurrection. We went over what it was John Sullivan, or man, whatever. We went over the Bigfoot, Ray Epps, and then there was that mysterious lady in the window. We talked about that. If you didn't see yesterday's live stream, please check it out. I'm going to break that up into little pieces as well. So we talked about all that. Then we talked about the FBI putting together this list of words that might indicate that one might be leaning towards being an extremist. And just so happened, all of those words pointed towards conservatives. Now, all of these things make me concerned. All of these things make me realize just how dangerous things are. All of these things make me understand the odds, what's at stake. If we do not regain power and deal with these agencies and these deep state actors, we are done as a country. So they know what's at stake, but so do we. This is a do or die moment in the history of our country. If they're allowed to continue to operate and stay in power like that, they're going to turn up the heat on us. Just the fact that we challenged them, just the fact that we made them a little nervous, just the fact that we had to expose them beyond the time that they wanted to be exposed. We prematurely brought it out to the point when Trump won and folks realized what was going on, they can no longer just suppress it and hide their dealings and all of this corruption. We found out that they know that we got soldiers over there in Ukraine. We weren't supposed to have soldiers over there fighting. What's up with that? And then got mad that they got caught and went after the person who blew the whistle. And here we are thinking no boots on the ground. Yeah, now we find out that. We find out that the Ukrainians are losing, but for some reason, they've been telling us, oh, Putin's in trouble. Putin's getting backed up. All of this crap starts coming out, and it makes you question so many things down throughout the history of our country, going back many years. We've always known we had some dirt in politics and dirt in our country. But man, to see that dirt be thrown on you as a citizen is a whole nother level. Whole nother level of dirt. So let's try to unravel this. And then before we get out of here tonight, we're going to see who's all aboard the Trump train. Ding, 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 ding. So let's get it, man. It's Friday night. Let's have some fun. I walk the planet, beating my chest like a real gorilla. Real gorilla. Real gorilla. There's some kings in the building. Do your yourself and show some respect. Gorillas in here. Gorilla in here. Gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. That's right, y'all. So, yep, the other week, I was talking about how the eagle has fallen. Right now, our eagle is on the ground, wounded pretty badly. And the question is, can we get to the eagle before the enemy gets to the eagle and steps on it? Can we resuscitate that bird and once again see the eagle fly high? Well, we're going to see. So we left off yesterday where I was talking about the FBI's involvement with, coming up with these new clever words that just seem to all direct and point to us. But they're not done with their shenanigans, okay? But neither am I. Okay, I'm not done with exposing them. So let's get it, man. Let's see what we talk about. What's this first
Tech
thing?
executive Bob Lee, founder of Cash App, dead after apparent stabbing attack in San Francisco. Bob Lee, the former chief technology officer of Square, who helped launch Cash App, has died after an apparent stabbing attack in San Francisco. Right after this, right? They've been reporting that for the last 24 hours.
Yeah.
This pops up 27 minutes ago, 18 minutes ago on Twitter.
Yeah.
The U.S. Federal Reserve banking system is launching its own Cash App called FedNow in July. This is a movement towards getting rid of physical money and having digital currency.
Whoa. Now, wait a minute. Wait just a minute. Now, I'm no conspiracy theorist. However, it is kind of strange that our dollar seems to be collapsing. And if you look at the history of how we got here, just 2.5 years ago, our dollar was the strongest it's been. Everybody was concerned about the U.S. power economically, militarily. Then Creepy Sleepy got in, and the Democrats, and all of these choices have been made to appear to weaken our standings on the global stage. Why is it that all of a sudden our dollar is collapsing and our enemies seem to be consolidating against us? Now they're swapping out our currency for China's currency, I guess. And I'm thinking to myself, what's going to happen to us? Since we so used to just printing money. So it appears that they're trying to push us towards a digital currency. Now, I don't know if you're a Bible believer or not, but I know one thing. The Bible says in the last days that no man should be able to buy, sell, or purchase without the mark of the beast. Now, imagine the predicament you would be put in when you give power to the government to decide what you can buy and what you can't. They already want all the IRS agents walking around with guns. They're already setting it up to sneak a peek at your account, figure out who got guns, who doesn't, making you register, red flag laws, all of these secret hit lists they put together, surveillance and infiltration, all of these things going on. And they want more power. They want us to go ahead and relinquish access to our finances. Now, what happens if we make them mad? Now, you talk about cancel culture. That's the ultimate cancel culture. Right now, they might be able to mess with you a little bit with the cancel culture. But when they start saying, we don't like what you said about the transgender community, your bank account's going to be frozen for hate speech. What do you do then? See, this is where they want to get us to. They're trying to look at all the avenues to make sure that the public become completely reliant on the power of the government, not the grace, the mercy, the protection. No, the power of the government. We have to submit, in a sense, to all of the stupid stuff whoever's running the government comes out and says. So if they come out and says this particular word is banned, you better not say it. See, now they don't have to come to your crib. Now they don't got to send anybody knocking on your door. All they have to do is say, you know what, shut that person's account down. Now what are you going to do? You sitting there groveling, I promise I won't be bad again. And if you give me $5 for gas, I would apologize to the people who I offended. That's what you would do. That's what they would have us all under. And soon as this guy mysteriously just gets murdered, They do say it wasn't, random. Apparently, somebody knew him. But after he is murdered, it's just odd that the government will come out with an alternative. Huh. Now, do you really want to trust the government with your cheese?
Why is this important for Christians? All right. Why do I talk about this so much? Because they want to move all of the money digitally, because at a click of a button, hey, they can turn it off. Look at this. You have your debit card. They
Yeah.
put the chip on there.
Put that chip.
And so you you had to put your card in,
Yeah.
and it read the chip.
Mhm.
Then they put it, now you can just tap your card.
Whoa.
Now there's people who are already getting chipped and they're just tapping their hand. And there's Amazon stores.
Now, what fool would do that? That is hilarious. I mean, you have to be living under a rock to not at least heard of a biblical reference about a chip or a mark being placed on the right hand or forehead. Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine the guy that gets that and it's like, what? I never heard of that. What are you talking about? The Bible says what about that? I've never heard that thing ever. So you mean to tell me I just purposely got the marketing piece put in me and I didn't even know? Somebody have had to tell you that. Maybe you watched a movie or something, but yet you got people that will willfully go down there to be experimented on. And I'm saying, boy, I tell you, some people, man, I have to just say, if humanity was on its way out and we had a rocket, they wouldn't make it. But let's continue with this brother saying.
And other places like that where you just scan your hand, or you just, and the Bible talks about this in Revelation, right? If you don't have the mark, you won't be able to buy or sell.
Ooh.
And so it's literally, I always say this, we're on the end times train.
That's
Choo, choo. We're moving at a rapid pace and to an expected end that the Bible already prophesied about.
Now, you know what? As a Bible believer, I have to agree with you, brother. Now, granted, there's two types of trains you want to be on. All right. Now, I'll ride the Trump train until God's done with us. And then you better be on the Jesus train, because that's the exchange. See, you don't, because the Trump train can only take us so far. It can only take us so far. Okay. If he gets back in, he only got 4 years. And if he don't do the things that need to be done, then we still looking at the same crap after that. So you better be having a ticket that say, all right, I started on the Trump train, but I never got off the Jesus train, and I'm going to stay on that one. That's the one I don't want to get off ever. So this man brings up some good points. It's not only just with the currency. If you look at all of the areas of our life that have changed in the last 4 years at rapid pace, that you say, whoa, I never thought I'd see this stuff happen in my lifetime like this. I mean, I thought it would be a slower walkthrough, a pace, and now it's just accelerated. Now we're sitting here having full-blown debates about whether men can be women and women can be men. I mean, these are the things that have fell in our lap. And the one that scares me even more is the government becoming more aggressive towards locking the citizens down, and also the angry violence that comes out of the liberal left that is incentivized and is encouraged and instigated by political leaders, while at the same time condemning the folks that are peaceful, patriotic, committed to the country, committed to sovereignty, and want to keep their individuality and want to keep them being able to be not codependent, but independent from the government. It's like they want us all to be on that tit of the government, and they're using any means necessary. They're developing people in our society that have become so mad and so angry, they would rejoice at our downfall, at our deaths, at our torture, as our jailings. And I was thinking about, I don't want to go too far into this because I got a video I'm going to do on this, but I was thinking about the prophecy in the book of Revelations, where it says there will be two prophets that will return to earth and will preach for, I think, 3 years, 3.5 years, somewhere around that, and will preach, and it would antagonize the world so much that they will all hate these men, these two prophets. Now, if you look at it, ain't nobody even preaching right now, but yet they hate us to the point where if you just misgender somebody, they're looking at you like that's a capital offense. These folks will get so mad at you by just saying that there's only two genders, and they have no mercy. There's no grace. They are vitriolic, all of these things. Now, In the Bible, I used to think and say, now wait, when these two men are slain, their bodies is going to lay in the streets for like 3 days and the whole world is going to rejoice? How bad can these two people be? And how will the whole world know it? How will they be able to see these two prophets that lie dead in the streets for 3 days? Well, with the access of modern technology, you will see what's going on around the world before it even hits the news stations. Right now, they're streaming it on Twitter. We're here over in Jerusalem. Look at these two. They just got killed because they were calling us one gender, and they kept saying that there's only God who creates man. And we told them we don't like that. We told them that you can't just change your mind. All of this stuff. Now, imagine how mad they are right now at us. And it ain't even on that level. So at some point, the anger is going to rise to a level to where if those two men are slain, instead of saying, man, that's bootleg, that's some mess, they should have had a trial or something, the people will rejoice. I never thought that I would see a day when folks would be celebrating abortions. People be having abortion parties. Now, granted, a lot of folks made that choice, but back in the day, you felt some kind of way. Back in the day, you have an abortion, you go somewhere and sit down. You like, man, I think I shouldn't did that. Now, they are flaunting that mess, talking about, oh yeah, I had 6. How many you had? 6? Oh, you're way behind. I got 12. Having a couple more next week. You coming to the party? That is where we're at. Now, when you start seeing that type of evil enter in, that makes my antennas go up. And I say, oh man. Woo. Well, we'll see. We'll see where this is going. But it doesn't look pretty. Let's continue. Oh, and with all of the stuff that I just mentioned, all of the surveillance, all of that, they still want our guns. They still want us to let down our guard and trust them. They still want us to believe when they talk about more gun restrictions. It's for the kids. It's for the kids. Do you want to see kids killed? Do ya? Then give us your guns. So let's see what they're up to now concerning the next diabolical scheme.
Congress passed a law 90 years ago, and ATF is...
So you're saying to me that a law that Congress passed 90 years ago allows for 10 million Americans to become felons today?
Congress passing a law allows ATF to regulate as technology changes.
Come on, Mr. Wilcox. Don't do that to the American people. We know better. Don't do that.
Chair
I
recognized.
love it. I love it. I love Byron Donalds. I mean, come on, man. Come on, man. I mean, that's how I feel when these Democrats get out there and they use such primitive tricks to get people on board or to distract or to deceive. And I understand that you have to have a trained eye to recognize it before you actually, if you had to be red pilled or if you weren't a conservative. There's a time where you don't see those things. It's kind of like when you're a kid. Your parent could manipulate you through words, through body language, through facial expressions. You know, all of these things worked when you were a kid. And then you get older and realize, hey, wait a minute. You're manipulating me. My brother had me making Kool-Aid up until about the age of 12. All because of my little teeny ego. Here it comes. Hey, Kevin, why don't you go downstairs and make some Kool-Aid? Man, I don't want to go make no Kool-Aid. You make the Kool-Aid. I made it last time. Oh, okay. That's fine. I'll do it. I know everybody in the house won't like it, though. I mean, they always talk about your Kool-Aid. What? They do? Oh, yeah. They never talk about my Kool-Aid. They hate my Kool-Aid, but they love yours. I mean, you just put the right amount of sugar in it. You mix red and orange sometimes, and even green. It's the best. They love it. But hey, Mom and Dad will be disappointed, but I'll go make the Kool-Aid. And as he walked away, I would be like, no, wait a minute. I think I should make the Kool-Aid. I'm the best Kool-Aid maker that we have in the house. So it's my job. I got older and I'm like, this dude had me making the Kool-Aid because he was older and he manipulated me. Once you start seeing these things, you can never unsee them. Right now, if he asked me to make the Kool-Aid, I might beat him up. So here these folks are using all kind of stuff to manipulate the public. But when we see it, we look at it and go, come on, man. Y'all really fell for that. That's how I feel when I watch the Democrats at work.
This is Mr. Donald's first 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Real quick, I find it interesting that my colleagues have no problem with the ATF going outside its boundaries with respect to this brace. Meanwhile, my colleagues have no issue with the fact that the President of the United States has made a complete bastardization of asylum at the southern border, which has led to more fentanyl killing more people between the ages of 18 and 45 in the United States. Fentanyl is the #1 killer of Americans in the United States.
Tell 'em
and they have no problem talking about that. They don't even want to discuss it. But we're here talking about this. Ms. Swearer, you just saw the video that was up on the screen. Do you have a response for this video?
Yeah.
Yes, though I suppose Mr. Bosco does as well. I think it's being used in a way to misconstrue the reality
Like they
of
always do.
SBRs. Like SBRs are actually still used by plenty of Americans.
So now, if you don't understand, they're trying to give power to an agency to penalize anybody who gets this brace that goes on someone's arm that might be disabled to help stabilize their gun. Okay. And of course, you bring this lady in who is pro-gun, and then you bring a couple pipsqueaks in that are trying to remove this brace and open up the door to start saying, let's remove guns that have this thing on it or that thing on it, because it might give you an advantage. Now, I don't know about you, but I've never thought about buying one of those braces. I'm sure the advantage goes to someone who might be disabled, but I don't really foresee something like that making a difference between whether someone who has bad intentions would still work out their bad intentions. I can't see somebody sitting in the crib like, you know what, I was about to go down there and just wipe out about 15 people, but I don't have that brace for my gun. Therefore, if I had the brace, I would commit it, but that brace, it deterred me not being able to purchase it. These are the rational, logical approaches to these situations that if you think about that and you say, what's the purpose of y'all wanting to get this? And how would this slow down anyone who's crazy? Do you think crazy would stop at the brace? That right there is a crazy blocker. The brace blocked the crazy. No, a crazy person wouldn't even be thinking about the brace. Okay, they're not coming back. It's a suicide mission. But yet they bring up stuff like this and want us to approach it seriously. And that's what I mean by when you go, come on, man. Come on, man. This ain't about no brace. You already know. This is about something else. You're using the brace to bunny hop into something else.
Who do have disabilities, but also just from the standpoint of SBRs themselves, they were the loophole, an attempt to regulate a loophole while trying to essentially ban handguns. Their restriction under the NFA has always been irrational. This idea that somehow a 14.5-inch barrel is more concealable than a 16.5-inch barrel when you walk in to commit a mass shooting, and that's why they choose it. It's just not realistic. It's the same gun. If you take that same gun and put it in a 16-inch barrel, if anything, the muzzle velocity will be increased when it is fired. So it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And I'm sure Mr. Bosco has some thoughts on that as well.
So y'all hear that? That's a rational thinking person. It doesn't make much sense. Now, if you just use this approach and apply it across the board to all the stupid stuff we see, the things that the Democrats want to do and how they intend to solve these problems, they make no sense. The first thing to do to expose these Democrats and their motive is to start off with the most logical approach. What do you want to do? Why do you want to do it? And what will it accomplish? Will it solve the problem or would it kick it down the road? Does it go around the first obvious problem and then throw a problem out that's like so far off where you're going, you know, you could just solve this by just simply sticking your finger and plugging up the hole and the water will stop? No, you got to bust open 7 more holes, tear down the whole wall, then the water will stop. And you go, wouldn't that make the problem worse? I mean, really, I could do it right now. Here's some bubble gum. I could do, don't do that. See, whenever they start running away from the obvious solutions, that's the indicator, then what's your real motive? Because see, if it's about solving the problem, we could do this right now and shut it all down. So you look at gun restrictions and all of that stuff. These guns right here being used for mass shootings at schools. Okay, first solution. Use money put security guards at the schools. Problem solved. Let's move on. Oh, well, no, that doesn't work because we don't want our schools looking like a military camp. So right off grip, now I go, so then what's your real reason? I just gave you a fail-proof solution, and you just want to work all around that based on aesthetics. Hey, the border's wide open. Drugs are coming across. How can we solve this? We need to solve it by hiring more people to process them, and we need to make sure that we got the. And I said, no. We don't need to do that. We don't need to do that. How about this? Build a wall, and then demand that anybody coming must stop first at the first country they get to. And if they don't do that, they can't come in. No, we don't want to do. And I'm going to see. You don't really want to solve the problem. When they wanted to give amnesty to all of the dreamers, and Trump said, "How many do you want?" 1 million. Okay, I'll give you 2. What? Okay. Well, no, we don't want that. Of course you don't want it. You don't want to solve these problems. You guys have created these problems, and you're using these problems to solve a bigger problem. So the bigger problem is we need all of y'all guns because of all the stuff that I talked about yesterday on my live stream. See, so to get those guns, we can't tell you that. So we got to use stupid stuff like, oh, a brace makes a difference. These kids are being, and you're going, these are simple solutions and you don't want to address those. So now what is the real motive? That's how you just check them. What is your real motive? When the first obvious solution, you go, no.
And Mr. Bosco, you're the inventor. What do you think?
I think there's a lot of people online,
Oh.
and we've seen some of those videos.
Yeah.
The reason I invented the brace was for people with limited mobility.
Okay.
That was the inception. That was why I made it. It was for a friend. Yes, there are people that are not using my product the way that I've designed it to be used, but the intent has always been that. The idea that by adding a brace to a pistol makes the firearm more concealable and therefore more dangerous is laughable. It's a piece of plastic. It weighs a certain amount. It makes the firearm longer. It's not making the firearm more concealable. It's making it less concealable.
There you go. See, he's dumb-proofed his argument. But this, once again, will show you the real motive. When you hear this man say these things and you say, so wait, it's harder to conceal. It makes the gun bigger and less mobile. And yet, for some reason, in your minds, y'all think that that brace will make a difference in performance or maybe encourage someone to do. So now, instead of walking in completely concealed and saying, surprise, you're walking in and people are going, what is that thing sticking up in the back of your jacket? What is this? Your whole shirt sticking up in the back. See, so now when you bring out an argument like this, now you got to force the people who are arguing against it to be dumb. See, that's all you got to do, to be dumb.
Mr. Bosco, let me ask you a question. How many Americans do you think will become felons as a result of this rule?
Uh-oh.
Well, I think we should probably look at what Congressional Research Services did. They came up with a study that said anywhere between 10 and 40 million Americans own arm braces at this moment.
Whoa.
If we use the smallest number that they have, which is 10 million, you will have an effect that come, I believe it's May 16th, which is the deadline. If someone wasn't smart enough to look up the Federal Register, who didn't know about this rule, from one day to the next, he will be in possession of an unregistered short-barreled rifle, and he will be committing a crime which is punishable of up to 10 years in prison. It's a felony offense, $250,000 fine.
Unreal. So you see, when they come up with this garbage, the goal is to criminalize the innocent. They're always talking about conservatives are extremists and we're out there committing all of this extremism, and we're attacking the transgender community, the gay and lesbian community, the conservatives, the liberals. We're doing all of this stuff. We're all white nationalists, but you never see any of that stuff. They can't really pin us down when it comes to saying you're criminals and now we can implement the law on you guys. But what they can do is secretly change the law and focus on a law that will, off grip, eliminate a whole bunch of citizens that don't like them, won't vote for them, won't go easily and quietly in the night with them into a one world government, it will now throw those people into a pickle because you go from, I ain't never used my gun, never violated anything. I went through all the background checks, all of the things necessary to be a legal gun owner. And suddenly I find that I'm a criminal because I got a brace. Just like that. Now I'm looking at court fees and lawyers and all of that, not to mention felony, can't get a gun no more. Sorry, buddy, your Second Amendment rights been revoked because of something we did purposely to make you become a criminal. Never shot nobody, ain't stole nothing, ain't did nothing. All you did was had a extra item on a gun that you were legally able to own. And now all of a sudden, just because of that, we've wiped out a large population of the people who just might resist our tyranny.
So in order to avoid this, the American would have to spend $200, get their fingerprints taken, get a photo of them given to the ATF. Am I correct in that?
So the agency, even with this, has flip-flopped back and forth. Originally, they were suggesting that Americans pay $200.
For the
Well,
brace?
Mr. Bosco, not to totally cut you off. Let me ask you this question real quick.
So y'all hear that? You want that brace? Pay $200, take a picture so we know who you are, and we can use that money for whatever. Okay. Yeah. Didn't solve the problem because understand, if the brace was the real problem, then there shouldn't be no way you can get the brace. You shouldn't be able to pay $200, get your picture taken and register your gun or whatever. It should be no, we can't even let anybody use the brace. All right. That's like me saying, okay, I think nuclear weapons are wrong and they could be dangerous in the wrong hands unless you come down and you pay $200 and you get your picture taken. We'll know that you got a small, tacular nuclear device in your house. That's all we need to know. Once you take the picture and pay your money. You think that would work? You think they'd be okay with that? No. But yet for this, they're making exceptions that accomplishes some things. Number one, finding out who you are and what you own. And number two, whatever that money is for, it'll go towards something else, probably something stupid.
Congress pass a law to stipulate the ATF do this?
Unequivocally, no.
Mr. Wilcox, how you doing? Let me ask you this question. Do you think it's okay for the ATF to act outside of congressional
Wilcox.
legislative authority, criminalizing 10 million Americans
That's what I
who are currently law-abiding citizens?
I don't believe that is what ATF is doing here, so I disagree with the premise.
You
Do
see
you
the
think
pipsqueak?
that by this rule, there will not be 10 million felons in the United States because they bought a product that the ATF authorized to be sold and that the ATF said was legal up until the Biden administration?
So let me understand this, Byron. The ATF at one point decided that this was okay, and then Biden came in with an executive order and said now it's not okay, and Congress has not voted on it, and now it's just became, I guess, a crime. So they treating us like the Wiz in the movie The Wiz when Richard Pryor played it, and then you start talking about the color is red now, and they all like, what? We thought it was green. Now they got to change up everything. I wouldn't be caught dead in red. Yeah. I'd rather be seen in green. Yeah, just like that. Wake up one day, everything's different. Now you got to go ahead and throw out your whole wardrobe. Now you got to change up everything. And if you don't, we need to talk to you. Interesting how they work like that.
Not liking a law isn't a reason for ATF not to.
But Mr. Wilcox, there's no law.
Oh.
Congress didn't pass it. That's a
Anyway.
rule from ATF. Let me ask you this question. Do you believe in separation of powers?
Of course,
Do you believe that the legislative power
course.
resides within the congressional body and not the executive?
I do.
So then why do you think it's okay for the ATF to come up with some rule with the force of law that Congress did not
Byron
pass?
getting the
Congress
man
passed
hat.
the law 90 years ago and ATF is.
So you're saying to me that a law that Congress passed 90 years ago allows for 10 million Americans to become felons today?
Congress passing a law allows ATF to regulate as technology changes.
Come on, Mr. Wilcox,
Come
don't
on.
do that to the American
Come on
people.
now.
We know better. Don't
We know better. Come on, man. Man, you more shredded than a Julian salad. So y'all hear this dude over here? That Congress passed a law that says that. Man, that shows you don't care about your citizens. You don't care about the people that you go. You shouldn't want to see your citizens, be traumatized, harassed, attacked, criminalized. You shouldn't want to make it inconvenient for them. These are things that when I see people in government do this, I say, you don't like us, do you? You don't like us very much. You don't like the country very much. You're doing stuff to make our lives harder. more difficult, put us in more awkward situations. See, it's kind of like my boy Robert, who I talked about the other day when we played at Miami, and the coach asked him, "How many times you going to do that, Robert?" And he said, "I don't know." And the coach said, "Hey, Robert, if you don't know, who knows?" Well, one day Robert was talking to the coach, and the coach sensed that Robert didn't like him. And Robert, turned to walk away and he said, "Hey, Robert, you don't like me very much, do you?" And Rob was like, I like you, coach. He's like, "No, you don't. No, you don't." See, he peeped it out. He said, "You know what, Robert, your body language, your attitude, the way you interact with me, it all tells me you don't like me very much. See, because I should be able to see signs that you're more willing to make my life easier versus harder. You should be looking for ways to relieve the pressure and not increase the pressure." And all of the stuff that these Democrats are doing is increasing the pressure on the people who they claim they care about. Would you do that with your own kid? Would you sit back and throw all kind of roadblocks out there, making your kid's life harder and harder unnecessarily? And you got a good kid. I ain't talking about using these things as a form of correction and discipline. I'm talking about my kid's fine, he's doing the best he can, and yet I'm gonna make his life harder unnecessarily. Then you're not a good parent. And these leaders are not good leaders.
Don't do that. I yield.
These weapons
Uh-oh.
that are
Seeing it.
built for the battlefield should
Built
not
for
be in
the
the
battlefield.
hands of civilians. When you look at what happened in New Zealand and how quickly that government responded to an incident, it's just unconscionable that we can't do something similar.
Didn't support.
Y'all hear the people that they use to come out and run interference and to try to justify why we should just willfully give up all of our civil liberties. That to think that these weapons that are used for battle on the battlefield, not one AR-15 is used in any military on the planet. You can't even, I wouldn't have, not granted, depending on what unit you might be in, you got the option to go automatic or semi-automatic. And frankly, I think you got a little more control if it's just semi-automatic. And once you start getting into, you're going to be up there, your teeth rattling the whole time, thinking you're hitting stuff. But nonetheless, those guns aren't used on the battlefield. You don't see some of the guns that we are legally able to purchase out there on the battlefield. If I'm out there at war and I see a dude pull out a big old 44 Magnum like Clint to the Eastwood, I might stop in the middle of the fight. Like, pew, pew. Dude, do you have a 44 Magnum? What are you doing with that? Who do you think you're gonna hit? I might get killed by joking on this dude. I'd be like, I had to stop for a second. Time out. Anybody see this dirty, hairy gun right here that this guy has? This is a catch one. Kevin died doing what he loves, mocking stupid people. Unbelievable. But that's what this guy wants people to think. So now let's hear from Black A Drop.
Not just banning the sale and manufacture of semi-automatic weapons, but further than that, confiscation.
Let me just be very clear. What we're talking about, AR-15s, these assault weapons ban, they are weapons of war, and they should.
No, they're not. No, they're not. See, this is the propaganda. These are the things that they allow them to get away with and don't check them right there in the moment. See, make her explain what a weapon of war is. That's all you have to do to destroy her. Just stop and say, wait a minute. The AR-15 is not listed as a weapon of war. And please tell me the difference between a weapon of war and say an AR-15. Please tell me that. Do you think Black A Drop knows that? You think she could break it down? Huh? None of these Democrats can. I've seen them get up there and argue for gun restrictions and throw out the dumbest stuff ever. Completely wrong. One, the Sheila Jackson. I held that AR-15 and it was heavy as 10 boxes. And that bullet that it shoots, that 50 caliber, you should not be on the streets. Well, it's not on the streets, dummy. And not to mention, if you pick up an AR-15 as heavy as 10 boxes, you probably accidentally picked up an M16, perhaps, a 50 cal. But what are you talking about? You're responsible for legislating guns, and you don't even know what you're talking about? Why should I trust you with that? See, so here she is telling us about weapons of war.
should not be on the streets across the country in our communities. They should not be in schools. They should not be in grocery stores. They should not be in
grocery
churches.
stores.
That's what the president believes. That's what the president believes.
Oh, the president don't believe anything. He has no personal beliefs except get rich. That's it. Stay in power, get rich. That's the only beliefs he has. We've seen how he believes something in flip-flops. When I was back in the 60s, my father said, Joey, those two men that kiss, simple. They love each other. Then about 10 years later, I don't even see what the problem is. Why are these people talking about getting married? This is crazy. I mean, these are the most corrupt, shallow, see-through, hypocritical, money-hungry people that I've ever seen. And it just takes a smart person to destroy him. I mean, every once in a while you see somebody stick it to them, but not like I would. Not like I need y'all to help. I need y'all to ante up and send me up there to somewhere to destroy these people. And can I get a press conference pass? I need something. Because as I listen to this, I'm going, say all you got to. Did you ask her this? It would destroy her. It would have her up there juggling. So here she is talking about they shouldn't be in stores. These are weapons of war, and all of this stuff. And she don't even know what the difference is between a weapon of war.
And he has done more than any other president the first 2 years on an executive order. And as you know, we all know how government works. There's only so much that he can do. And so now it's time for Congress to do the work. And he's happy to sign. Once that happens, he's happy to sign that legislation that says, okay, we're going to remove assault weapons, We're going to.
You see, that's where they really want to go. We're going to remove assault weapons. Those Freudian slips get them every time. So y'all want to remove assault weapons. But notice what she didn't say. She didn't tell us what an assault weapon was. There's no definition of what an assault weapon is. There's no category of an assault weapon. So she went from weapons of war, all of that. She went for assault rifles to all of a sudden assault weapons. And we're going to remove them. Not grandfather you in, not just say, hey, those that all have these so-called assault weapons, you can keep those. Remove them. Who do you think they're going to send door to door to get those guns, huh? See, so this is their diabolical scam. They always have one that was slotted out. Like, oops, did I say that out loud? Like Joe Biden when he said, we put together the most comprehensive voter fraud program. So here she is telling the real motive.
And have an assault weapons ban.
All these people who are selling.
Not a ban. Remove. And then you got big nose who don't know nothing about what guns are, what they do, and this and that. And this is the result of when you push this type of propaganda, you go ahead and expose these dummies. Because see, she don't know she's being used for propaganda. I think she really believes whatever she says.
Selling guns, they make a lot of money off of children's deaths, apparently, in this country. They're worrying about, other people book.
It's unreal. It's unreal that this got to say they make a lot of money off of that killing of kids in this. Did you say that about Planned Parenthood? That's my question. They make the most. Planned Parenthood, you got to be kidding me. Guns ain't got nothing on Planned Parenthood. What are you talking about? And not to mention, you're not whining about all those handguns used in Chicago, St. Louis, DC, Virginia, California, that's being used to shoot inner city black kids, gang violence style. You're not talking about that. You're only talking about the random, every once in a while, easily solvable shootings that take place in schools. And now she's saying they're willing to make money off of the deaths of kids. How about this? What about all the kids that die crossing the desert trying to get to our country because of your party incentivizing them? How about the ones that died in the back of the trucks because they were so hot and they died? The ones that's thrown into the river because they get too tired and can't make it. The ones that are smothered to death because they might start crying and expose that they got about 50 people inside of a car. But yet here she is talking about they're okay with seeing kids being killed. They make money off of this. Somebody book me for The View. That's another one, please. I'd like to go on so I can jump all over that toucan saying those.
Baloney items This, they will not do anything about it. By the way, thank you, Joe Biden, for trying to put the ban on those assault weapons, which I should also point out that after a mass shooting in Australia in 1996, they enacted a mandatory gun buyback and collected 700,000 privately owned guns.
And still folks were being stabbed to death and killed. But you know what she also didn't mention? Yeah, after they took all those guns, you know what, Mike? We think you might have a little bit of COVID, eh? We're going to need you to go ahead and get right in that concentration camp, eh? Well, maybe I don't want to. Well, you don't have a choice because we took your guns, dummies. Can't believe y'all gave them up, really. It's crazy. Now get your butt over there. But I don't want to. Oh, you're going to do it because we got the guns and y'all don't. And Joy wants us to go down that path. With all of the shenanigans we've been seeing happening, that makes me start sleeping with my gun. I fall more in love with my gun. Okay, I realize how I've underappreciated my guns. I've been taking advantage of y'all, and sometimes I don't cherish y'all enough and let you know how precious y'all are to me. I want to do better. I want a better commitment to you guys. Okay, I'll clean you after shooting one time. I won't wait 3 or 4 times. Clean you. Make sure you're oiled up. I love you guys. Bring it in. That's what that makes me do. It doesn't make me say I feel confident relinquishing my weapons to the government when our FBI has been sprinkled in all of these situations we've been talking about.
Many lives
Another
will
time.
be shattered before we have the courage to do what Scotland did, what Australia did, what New Zealand did, what other great democracies.
You know why? Because this is America, dang on it. Okay, America. We ain't no Scotland. We ain't none of those. This is America. We like our hats big. We like our guns big. We like our trucks big. We like our motorcycles big, fast, and loud for no reason. We like all of that. So how about you take your butt somewhere where you don't have to feel threatened by these guns of war? But nonetheless, this woman is describing countries that don't have a great track record in making good choices, okay? These are the same people who's trying to give up all of their natural resources because of the Green New Deal. And then sitting around going, anybody got some heat? No, some air conditioning. I'm broke. I'm all out of air conditioning. Anybody got? No, we got to call Pootie for that. Dumb.
On through line in these deaths is that they are shootings, therefore they are done by guns. And guns are the leading cause of death for children and teens in the U.S.
Are they?
So shouldn't helping save the lives of children be a top priority for you as a member of the House majority?
No, it absolutely should be, which is why I say I would look to the thing that would absolutely stop this, which is putting armed police officers at every school. I visit a lot of schools. I do talks at various schools. It's very rare that I go into a school, especially the newer ones, and they don't have some kind of armed police presence there at all times.
She don't like that.
That's a preventive measure. That I know will stop.
Yeah, we all know that. And that's why we all know you guys have another motive. Because if I know that's the solution, he knows that solution. Wouldn't you want to know that solution too? But no, they don't want to know that one. So here's her dumb rebuttal.
And there was nothing like that in these last few mass shootings. There's no armed guards there.
So the answer
if
is
I'm just looking for
more
actual
guns.
solutions, that would be it.
So the answer is more guns.
Yes.
No, the answer is armed guards. No, the answer is armed guards, right? Armed guards, yes, more guns. The kind of guns that protect the president, that protect you all at CNN. Is it easy?
You see that Ahmed slap her face right there? The same type of armed guards that protect the president and you bums at CNN. See, you ain't got a problem with that? You ain't got a problem with those more guns? Yeah. You get sarcastic, so the answer is more guns. Oh, okay. How about we snatch the ones that your security carries that makes you feel extremely confident when you're walking around or you doing a show? How about we remove that? Give them some billy clubs, maybe a little mace, and see how confident they feel.
To get into your headquarters at CNN? Absolutely not. There's armed guards there. Yeah. There's single points of entry. I think we should look at our schools as a place that is precious and have the same kind of security that your corporate offices do, that we do in Congress.
Yeah, what's the problem?
If we consider a place to be important where our children go to learn every day, it should have the same level of security as every other place, whether it's a shopping mall or a corporate office that's hard to get into. You're not going to get rid of guns.
1, don't you feel dumb? 2, look at you. So that's how you destroy these folks that have these motives to try to push another agenda and then going to try to demonize you because you don't agree with it because they're using these false narratives of kids. You like it. You like when they get killed. You're greedy. You're all about the money, right? Oh, you want more guns. No, I want smart solutions that don't infringe upon law-abiding citizens' rights. Don't attack a problem by making a bigger problem for the masses. This isn't collective punishment here. Okay, especially when you're trying to implement collective punishment and overlooking the obvious. Number one, people who do this are crazy. It's not the gun that does this, it's the crazy person. Number two, you can stop a crazy person by putting a sane person and a trained person to shoot that crazy person before they start being crazy. All the kids in their safe, under their desks, the guy or girl is a hero. But they don't want that. They want today, another shooting took place. There was 25 kids killed. And, this goes back to what we were saying. We need less guns on the street, these assault weapons. That's what they want. But guys, we're going to end tonight because we got some new folks that jumped on that Trump train. Oh, yeah. They always talking about how Trump's a racist. And he's a white nationalist. And black folks hate him. And all the minorities hate him. And they always belittle the intelligence of these black folks. Let's see what's going on here around the country after Trump has been attacked by Fat Albert and all of them. Let's see how the people feel. Let's take it to the streets before we get out of here. All aboard the Trump train.
Yo, Trump, tell him you innocent, bro. You innocent. I remember that.
Trump, man. Free Trump, man. It's a witch hunt. We don't even
Witch
know
hunt,
what he
bro.
did. They just making stuff up.
Making
Free
stuff.
Trump 2024.
2024 Trump all the way.
Do you support Trump being indicted? Definitely not. That man is the GOAT. They just trying to set him up, for real. Trump 2024 for sure. Trump 2024.
No, it's a witch hunt. They're doing whatever they can to get rid of him because they know he's powerful and they know he can actually do good change in this country. My boy Donnie was watching. You have more supporters than you ever know, bro.
Oh, yeah, man. Oh, y'all hear these people right here? They don't like to see YouTube don't want to see. They don't want to spread this type of stuff. Yeah, you won't see these folks on MSNBC and CNN and stuff like that. You hear that? Folks see through this mess. Folks aren't dumb. Folks see through all of the propaganda. I got another clip I'm gonna do in another video where they went to a college campus to ask these college kids, what do they think about men being able to have babies? And you should see these college kids sitting here trying to justify that. Well, I think it could happen. There's depending on the anatomy of the, and then they decided, let's go into Harlem and talk to the brothers. Do you know all them black folks in Harlem probably should have PhDs in biology because they all knew that men can't have babies. They were like, what? Man, that's crazy, man. I mean, who says this? See, so it exposes that the average person ain't dumb. It's almost like the smarter these elites become, the dumber they become as well. But regular folks are going, I see what you're really up to. Let's continue hearing from the brothers, the jungle.
Oh, I just seen that 2 days ago.
Yeah.
No, they tricked y'all dumb to get Trump out the chair. And now look how that done backfired on y'all dumb. Trump got my back. Trump for life.
Trump is a real black man. He just finding out that he's like us.
Oh, this is Trump at the UFC.
Oh, nah. Historic moment. That's big 45 right there.
Big
Stop
45,
playing.
baby.
Oh, you copping, please. That's what I'm talking about. That's
Yeah.
the president. Oh, yeah.
Get your selfie on.
Oh, yeah.
Get your selfie on.
Come on, man.
I knew Trump before.
Yeah, you used to talk to him. You ever
No, I don't. I knew Trump before he ran for the presidency. I thoroughly enjoyed talking to him.
Was he a racist,
Huge
Stephen?
sports fan. He used to throw a lot of events at his casinos and stuff like that. And I genuinely liked him. I didn't know who this guy was running for president.
Oh, see, now wait a minute. See, Stephen. You also are a victim of the manipulation. I mean, sometimes you're a smart guy, and sometimes you're dumb. But you genuinely liked him. So here's my question. You're telling me, Stephen, he went from a guy you interacted with and genuinely liked to now all of a sudden, I don't know who he is. I mean, come on now. Most of the time, old folks are set in their ways. See, no need to try to reinvent yourself when you hit 60. There's no reason. So most likely what you see is what you get from Trump. And that's why I respect him. He's always been that guy. And if you, for whatever reason, can't see that, then you're dumb. But he do know one thing.
I think he's changed, but I will tell you this. I think when people call him racist and stuff like that, I've never thought of Trump that way. He's not against black people. He's against all things not named Trump.
No, he's against all things that are dumb and stupid. That's what he's against. See, he's an equal opportunist. If you're a female that says and does something dumb, you're a dumb female. If you're a male, then you're a dumb male. But just do your job, do smart things, and you won't have to, get the sarcasm that gets dropped on you from him. But Stephen is like, he's not racist. Now, just trying to straddle that fence, I guarantee you that there's a lot of people who call this dude all kind of names. So let's continue.
There's a difference.
I mean, raided by the feds.
Yeah.
Tons of lawsuits.
What do you think is going to happen with Trump?
I don't know.
Hey,
I don't know.
Black.
It's hard to say. Hopefully, he's not going to become president again. But
Black,
look at how many people.
I'm definitely voting for Trump next time.
Wait, you're voting for Trump?
What? Yes, I'm definitely voting for Trump. 100%.
You're voting for Trump.
Listen, I'm
You're disappointing me right now.
No.
You hear the white man? You hear the white man interviewing the brother? Talking about, you're really voting for Trump, huh? You're really, you know what? You're disappointing me right now. Because you're black. Black people aren't supposed to. You heard what Joe Biden said. If you don't know who you're voting for by now, then you ain't black. You're portraying your race. This is, I crack up when white people find it shocking that a black person would vote for Trump. It's crazy.
The reason why is that if he's the only other candidate, and I got to tolerate 4 more years of Biden, we're not. Unfortunately, we live in a country where it's a two-party system.
Or maybe Kamala Harris will end up running for president.
What?
Because
She'll do that now.
Biden can't even put on his own jacket anymore. But he's shaking people's hands who aren't there. he's old and old.
Black. I'm one of those people where I don't gotta agree with everything you do or your thoughts and everything. I don't think we'll ever do that with any other human being. Right. But I'm simply looking at life under 2 presidents, and this motherfucker looks senile, and I think that we need him out of there.
Oh my. And that guy be on the Charlemagne or whatever show. Okay. And so this is how he feels. He said the one dude senile. Now, if you can't do a compare and contrast, if you decide coming up that, all right, I'm down here at the train station, there's the Biden train over here that's broke down, doesn't know where it's going, has a lot of chocolate chip ice cream on it though. Yeah. And for some reason, all the words are written in China. It's interesting. I don't know why. I can't even read what cart I should get on because the numbers are written in Chinese. Yeah. And then there's Trump's train over here. This one right here is red, white, and blue. This one right here seems like it's going somewhere. If you are a person that gets your butt up on that Biden train, and when it jumps those tracks, you deserve every single bit of it. Every single bit of it. I don't know about you, but I'm getting on this one. Let's continue. Here's that same guy.
Swirl, Lil Peep, with any type of fentanyl type substance. Oh my God, give me my rappers back. And Uncle Trump said, all right, when we catch the drug dealers who pushing this shit with the fentanyl killing the people, we put them in the chair. And y'all mad. Like, what's wrong with y'all? Uncle Trump trying to do what y'all, he trying to clean up his screens, bro. Sorry, I'm mad. It's not like he's saying, if you're selling some weed. No, you pushing that fentanyl and killing out here, you're going in the chair.
Oh, now look at these brothers on that Trump train. Boy, I tell you, you get enough brothers on that Trump train and we gonna tear it up. We gonna have a good time on the train. We turn it into the soul train. Soul train is coming. Come on along. Soul train is coming. Come on along with Don Cornelius. Yes. Very excited about your success. And that Asian girl with the long hair dancing and the guy with the big nose and the suit. Yeah, man, we're turning it out. We need a couple more of them on that Trump train. So now this guy's like, dude, I'm all over it. Because we now got a dude who is serious about stopping the cartel pushing this mess into our country. But you'll have dumb people that will hear Trump say these people should get the chair. And they say, look at him. He wants to kill them because they're Mexicans. Because they're, and I'm going, you don't realize how many Americans have been killed by these people? They're drug dealers. Maybe you need to watch the video clip that I saw when one of them, with no mercy, beheaded a woman with a butcher knife and chuckled while doing it. And these are the people you are. It's because they're Mexican. We should leave them. Trump's just wanting them dead because Man, I wish I would hear somebody defend that. Ooh, just like this guy.
When Lil Peep died, y'all was like, oh my God, I hate fentanyl. Oh my God. Don't you think the nigga who killed Lil Peep should get a chair? No?
No.
They charge the drug dealers for that, by the way. And they charge a couple of niggas for Mac Miller shit, too.
Oh, sorry, I didn't.
All them niggas who selling bad drugs, man. The fentanyl shit's out of control.
Oh.
Uncle Trump trying to put the niggas in the chair. I'm sorry.
It's like
I mean, sorry that I didn't get a chance to bleep his words out, but he's calling him Uncle Trump, and he's trying to put him in the chair. See, when it hits home, you want the maximum penalties. Yeah, you more compassionate about the black folks in there, and there's Mexicans, there's whatever. They shouldn't be punished like that. All of these bootleg prosecutors that George Soros done put in place that's letting these criminals get out. Let one of those criminals get out, go to one of their houses and just wipe out their whole family. And then come talking about, wait a minute. Now I've been killing all this time and you've been giving me a slap on the wrist. Now you want me to go to the electric chair? Yeah, because it's my family. Oh, okay. See, that's what it comes down to. See, that's how people need to start looking at this. It's all fun and games until one of these people kill one of your family members. And then you're going, I want the max. Where's the death penalty? But yeah, Trump's talking about it. What else? What they talking about here?
Honest, Donald Trump is not racist. Donald Trump is just from Queens.
Look at that.
It's just Queens jealous. It's just
You done did too much weed.
See, you can't talk like that. You can't be sitting back saying Donald Trump ain't a racist. Because see, it's been built in and programmed into some of the dummies who, for whatever reason, just can't figure it out. But this next lady did, y'all. Woo! This sister right here is a real sister. So I had a little warning right here. Okay, some inappropriate language. I tried to catch all the beeps I could, but I cannot guarantee. But her message is beautiful. And her attitude is to listen to this sister.
Warning. The following video contains strong language, which may be offensive to some viewers or inappropriate for children.
Yes.
The content within this video is intended for mature audiences only.
Mature audiences.
I was a Trump supporter then, and I'm a Trump supporter now. I don't give a who know about it. I don't how you feel about it. I don't give what your political views are and how you feel like he's a racist. I don't give. I heard it before, like when he was president and he was doing like amazing at making the country run the right way. But it was like a crime to admit that he was running a out of this. I'm done with that because I realized that it's a lot of robot, dumb, blind motherfuckers walking around that don't realize what's going on. So now I'm not scared to say that I am a Trump supporter. Always going to be a Trump supporter. I don't fuck how you feel about it. I do not give a. Now, I was one of them people, too, once upon a time. When Kanye was running around with Trump, I could not understand that for the life of me. I'm like, why the would he be running around with Trump? Like, until I start.
You know she's a true sister. Combing the hair while she's doing the video. There's a girl standing there, made just for me. If I opened up my eyes, then maybe I could see. That's how I feel. She made me go I'll be to the shore for her. Let's continue while she's doing her hair and dropping a hot message.
Start doing my own research, which I keep telling y'all to do.
Research.
Trump is not the enemy, bro. Trump is actually on the right side of the fence. You is just so blind, y'all don't see what the is really going on, bro.
Oh my gosh.
Like most of y'all just watch the news, and that's where y'all get all your information from. The news, when he was walking around telling y'all that that's fake news, it is, y'all. It's propaganda to brainwash y'all, bro.
Oh, and all I hope for in my dream tonight, she walks right through my door. I'll be tonight, man.
Like, I hate that, like, I'm one of these people now because we are the people that sound crazy. Like, oh my God, y'all, this is so damn. I'm gonna just say that if I could go down there and riot for them trying to arrest Trump, I would. I feel like this is your president. Yep. And I'm gonna stick beside him. Donald Trump is my president. I don't fuck who y'all like. Y'all look at Trump president. Look at Biden. I will put my president up against that sleep any day. Wait till y'all realize that Trump was never the problem. Oh my God. It's just that by the time y'all wake up, it'd be too late.
I heard she sang a good song. I heard she had a style. And so I came to see her to listen for a while. Y'all know the words. And there she was, the smart girl, a stranger to liberals. Man, this girl is dropping it. And she ain't one of those born in Bear Lair girls. You could tell right now she ain't changing it up for the people. She's 100% still herself, but dropping it like it's hot. Finish up, sis.
Most of the time, so I found out it'd be too late. It'd be too late. Because nobody cracks open a book. Nobody digs deep and really find out what's going on. They just cut the TV on and let the program them. And that's what they believe. That's what they walk around screaming. That's what they stand by. Like, I'm not of this world. Like, that's what I'm starting to realize. Like, I'm one of them people that was sent here for like the greater good. Like, I'm not of this world.
You sure ain't, girl. You sure ain't. Man, do y'all hear her? You and me, we come from different worlds. You like to laugh at me when I look at other girls. Some drive me crazy, and you wonder why. I'm such a baby cause the dolphins make me cry, and there's nothing I can do. You know the words. I only want to be with you. I love her. I love this girl.
Nothing like y'all, bro. I'm nothing like it. You know what blows my mind? When 9 times out of 10, when people say they don't like Trump or they don't support Trump, and I be like, why you don't like Trump? Like, tell me honestly why you don't like Trump. The first thing I think of is he's a racist. So we all a little racist. Everybody in the world is a little racist. All of us go places and say about the other race. Everybody is a little racist. It's in our DNA. Each and every last one of us. It's in us to stand with your people. Let me tell you something I hear my fiance say all the time. If you walk into a room full of white people and it's one black person, by nature, you're going to go over there and introduce yourself to that black person first. Because you're going to be like, oh, that's me. If a white person walk in a room full of black people, they're going to naturally zero in on the other white person. We all are a little racist by nature.
Now, what she probably means is prejudice. What it is people will gravitate towards what is familiar to them. So, for example, when I was at Miami University, when I was down, there was only 178 black folks. So I'm walking to class, there's a sea of white bodies, and I'll see one brown dot, and my eyes will gravitate towards that. Because I'm going, hey, there's a black person. Now, that didn't mean I hated the white people. It was just I wanted to connect with a person who I might have something in common with, But then sometimes you get shocked and you'll meet a black person that you go, you ain't like the kind of black person that we grew up in. Wow, I said, what's up? And you said, hello. Okay, well then. And you might find a white dude to be like, what's up? I grew up in the yo too, baby. And I'm like, well, see, right there's the connection. And when it comes down to how people connect, who think for whatever reason, we have tendencies to gravitate towards people who we look at as familiar to us. Some of that is true, but it's true beyond the United States. It doesn't mean you hate the other people. It's just, you know what? These are people who seem to have my common interests, or I might be able to rap to. But then the same thing takes place when you go outside of the US and you're in another country and you see a person from the US. I don't care what color they are, what race they are. When you see them and you go, they're from the US, all of a sudden, you're from America? Yeah, me too. Best friends, right off grip. This brings us all together, whereas the Democrats are trying to bust us all apart. So when she's talking about we all a little racist, what she means is bias. We all have something in us to say, well, look, man, there's a group of black people over there, and everybody else is 1,000 white people and 5 black people. I wonder what they're up to. See, but that doesn't mean you're going, ugh, I hate all these white people. So I know what she's saying, but you can tell she ain't the type of person that's going to try to explain it like that. She's telling it just like the folks that probably watching her need to hear it.
Come with something else.
Come with something else.
Yeah, y'all over here starving and poor, and Biden is giving all the money y'all going to work and earning to another country. Make it make sense. That's like me watching my own kids starve in this house, but I'm making sure Becky down the street make sure her kids eat, and making sure the kids around the corner eat, and going up to the school giving out free food, and then coming home and my kids are starving. Make it make sense. Y'all elected that so stand beside them. Stand beside them.
She is serious. I'm loving her. American woman, stay away from me. Love her. American woman, let me be. Dance. Don't come knocking on my door. I really do want to see your face once more, though. I love her.
I'm done acting like, well, I'm just gonna fall in line and act like I'm a Trump hater too. I don't give a. Best thing I ever did was went on a spiritual journey, bro, because I done tapped so deep into myself. I don't give a what somebody else think about me. I don't give a. Say that's crazy. I don't want nothing to do with her good. I don't want to be around it's like y'all anyway. I don't want to be around a weak minded that's just going along with whatever is popular. Get away from me. I'm about to go buy Make America Great Again hat and wear that around because I want all smoke.
Oh!
I want to smoke with whoever. What?
So she went one more step and said, just to stick the needle and twist it, I'm going to get me an Make American Great Again hat. Just to rub it in these big noses. See, and I do that myself. As a big black man, I like putting my Make America hat on and walking around. Yeah, I like the looks they give me. I be looking at them the same way. White liberals, really? And I be like, yeah, really? You got something to say about it? No, I thought so. Put it on. Do I have to? Yes. All right. Or you're a racist if you don't. All right, let's continue. More black folks on the Trump train. Uh-oh. We got us a black immigrant woman with all these white liberal kids that hates Trump. Now, listen to this. You would think they would give her a pass because she's black. She's an immigrant and a woman. But they don't like that. They don't like smart black immigrant women. They like angry black people who, for whatever reason, just automatically, that's right, Trump's a racist. So she's about to give these young whippersnappers a lesson. If you love this country.
And that party is the evil party. They want to destroy the family. They don't believe in God. They don't believe in the country. They believe in the welfare system.
Ooh! And she is from another country. They are the evil party. They don't believe in God. They don't believe in country. They believe in the welfare system. Now she's schooling these so-called Americans. Why is it that this woman know more about our country and the Democrat Party history than these dummies over here? Why is that? It's amazing how immigrants who come the right way, they get over here and they say, do y'all understand what we just came from and what we just left? And y'all wanna take this country in that direction. Let me tell you some whippersnappers. Watch how the whippersnappers respond.
So you should be grateful.
You should be grateful.
And enjoy your freedom and prosper. If you don't like this country, if you hate it so much, why don't you go somewhere else?
Ooh! You should be grateful. You should be grateful because of the prosperity. If you do not like this country, why don't you go somewhere else? Now, if a white person said that, of course, did you hear what they said? Hey, they're racist. Told them go back to the country. I say it all the time. How in the world do you stick around and you hate the place where you live? This ain't slavery, man. Get yourself on the next thing smoking and bounce. I will break the bank to send one of these folks who claim the country sucks. I'd be like, oh man, I ain't got much money. I ain't rich and all, but to get your nasty tail out of here and to make an example of you and to watch you scream and kick to get yourself back in this country, I'm willing to break the bank. Hopefully I'll make it back on the back end. Finish telling these young whippersnappers.
And the reason why don't you go somewhere else? Because you know that there is no other state than the United States.
What? So she like, the reason that you don't go nowhere else because you know there's no better place than the United States. And then somebody yelled out, F Trump. So you better wake up. Now look at it. You need to educate yourself about history. Now, here we got one little black girl, couple white kids. Yeah, they're trying to go light because they're like, I don't want to mess around and become a racist. So they're just simply don't want to hear her. Blah, blah, blah. La, 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 la. That's how all liberals argue. Okay. And she said, let me give you a little history. The Republican Party.
The Republican Party freed the slaves.
Freed the slaves.
The Republican Party gave black people the right to vote.
Gave black people the right to vote.
The Republican Party gave black people the right to own property.
To own property.
The Republican Party funded the historical the Republican Party.
And look at this. Look at this, dude. You see Danny DeVito coming in here? You see this guy right here coming in here. His job right now is to say, let me block the message that's coming from this intelligent woman right now before she actually touches the minds of one of our young, impressionable liberal dummies. That's what his job is to do. Because listen what he does. Gave her toilet paper to plug their ears. See, that's an intelligent approach. Yeah, here, stick this toilet paper in your ears because we don't want you guys hearing truth.
They wanted to kill you. The Republican Party
Historical college. The Republican Party funded the historical black colleges and universities. Why don't we ever hear them talk about this on MSNBC and CNN? Yeah, they talk about Republicans like they're the source of every historical atrocity in the country. They don't talk about all the things that they've contributed to black people today.
So you put an end on education.
Oh.
So read your history.
Read your
Because
history.
what the Republican Party has done for the minorities is inimaginable.
And look at that. It's unimaginable. Unimaginable. Boy, she dropped it like it's hot. Now they need to go somewhere and think about it. And look, here's Trump back at that place. Let's see what this guy from Cuba, I think, has to say about Trump.
With us tonight,
45.
President
Woo!
Donald Trump.
Wait a minute. They're not booing? You telling me these folks ain't up there going, F Trump, F Trump? They're not going, let's go, Brandon, and all of that mess? See, because Trump showed up. See, so you got a concoction and put together a crowd to counter the response when Trump shows up. Because when he shows up unexpectedly, most of the time, the crowd go crazy. And if the left has a awareness of where he's going to be, then they will go ahead and bust in some agitators to make it look like everybody hates Trump. But really, that's not how it is. Every time you see him go somewhere, you don't see what you see when Biden shows up, where everybody's booing, going out of their way to say you suck. You don't see that. Let's see what they got to say. Oh, there's a black guy. Here comes Trump.
Oh my God!
Now, I guarantee you that face right there is a face of, I can't believe this white nationalist is coming my way. He's probably going to snatch me up, put me on a boat, and send me back to Africa. I'm sure that's what his look is, right? What's this? He shook his hand. Wait a minute. Why didn't Trump slap that man's hand down and say, I would never touch a black man? Secret Service, go get me some, some iodine, something to cleanse his hand. Why didn't Trump do that? He touched a black man.
Thank you.
Oh, and taking pictures, just like the old days. He's taking pictures with black folks like the old days before black folks became brainwashed to, for whatever reason, now hate Trump. See, this is how it was back in the day. Trump money, baby. Trump, yeah, man. Down with Trump. Busting rhymes with Trump's name. See, that was the old days.
My mom's gonna go crazy.
My mom's gonna go crazy.
Thank you. Mr. Trump, by any chance you think I get a small loan of $1 million?
Look at that. Joking with him. Yeah. Uh-oh. Wait. Are those boos? Oh, no, those are claps. Yeah, those are claps. I'm pretty sure. Now, do y'all think this man lost it to Joe Biden? Do you really think that this man who is that popular, I mean, heck, y'all remember he went to the football games and people was going crazy? Football games. Joe went to a football game, whole stadium, F Joe Biden. And yet they say that man won with 81 million votes. And they say Trump is not popular. People hate him. Look at that. Standing ovation. USA, USA.
Also, I want to say, greatest president in the history of the world, sitting right there. I love that guy.
I love that guy.
We also got the greatest governor of all time here in Florida. Let's keep Florida free.
Keep Florida
red
free.
state. And let's take that. You know who? Let's go Brandon motherfucker out of power.
Oh!
If I could get it just one time. Let's go Brandon. Let's go Brandon.
I love it, y'all. I love it. They're all on the Trump train, all aboard the Trump train. Look at this, guys. Yeah, this is Trump. And all the people, and as they hear he's about to go off and have to deal with Fat Albert and all, I'm sure they're all happy. Oh, they're not? You're the man. Wow. Do they do that when they see Biden? Look at that. Look at that. Now, if this man does not win, it will be a travesty. It would be, once again, a big fat sticking us up without a pistol, because there's nobody on their side that can beat Trump. Nobody. I guarantee, or on our side, that can beat Trump. So they got to do what we've been seeing them do. They have to send out Fat Albert. They got to do all of the stuff that they've been doing because they have no choice. They know if they don't play dirty ball, there's no chance. But the last clip coming up is the best. Yeah, I wish I lived in Florida now. Look at that. They love him. Wow. Oh, what's this? Oh, this is the best. This is the one for the night. Now, guys, let me set the scene. These are kids. They're at a wrestling tournament, a national wrestling tournament, packed. I think the top age is maybe 12. So these aren't like high schoolers. These aren't high schoolers. And watch what they organically just break out into. The children. Oh, yes, music to my
ears. Oh, that is
They
glorious.
have to know what that actually means.
Check this out. The event where the video was recorded was the Adidas Wrestling Nationals for kids. In the K through 12.
So wait a minute. So K through 12, instead of teaching them how to cut off their genitals, and instead of having these kids right here read books about pronouns and having intercourse and stuff and how gay sex should operate, instead of that, these kids are being taught the real stuff right there. Now, these are the parents that I respect right here. You teach your kids about Let's Go Brandon, okay? Now, that's a parent for you. All these kids right here, big old crowd of them. Let's go
Between the 6th and the 8th of April. The state Democratic Party attacked the video, claiming it shows kids being indoctrinated. What? Mother flippers. And the executive director for the Democratic activist group Blue Missouri blasted McMullen, saying, quote, leading kids in chants of Let's Go Brandon is the height of indoctrination.
Unbelievable.
No, chopping your D off to become a girl is the height of indoctrination, you no good SOB.
And it is. They are no good SOBs. And, you know, whenever something organically pops up that shows how the masses despises either the Democrats or the president, they always have to come with some excuse. See, it can't just be that these kids really realize that Biden sucks and the Democrat sucks and they got good parents who probably taught them well. It can't be that. These kids right here being manipulated. Yeah, that's what it is. It can't be that black men are simply waking up and leaving the Democrat Party. No. Because see, when that happened, they came out and said, no, it's because these black men are being manipulated. They're being led astray by Donald Trump and his voodoo and all of that stuff. They can't think for themselves. Yeah, and then got the nerve to say indoctrinating these kids. Now, can you believe that? The projection from these folks is absolutely amazing. The folks that want to legislate you out of your kid's life so that they can have quiet, personal one-on-one time with them to talk about their inner transgender person, and have you ever felt feelings that you couldn't explain? And there's no, your parents don't need to know about this. It's just between you and I. The same people who once that got the nerve to say, oh, obviously all these kids are being manipulated. Surely they wouldn't be saying that without their parents leading them into a chant. See, this is the dirt that we're working with, y'all. This is that 1984. They are saying whatever comes out negatively, write it down, attack it, destroy it, and send the media out there to squash it. But that's why you got me right now on this channel for now until they come after me over here. But what you can do is hit that like button, share my videos, follow me on the other platforms. People are having a hard time finding this channel. So I don't know why. I mean, I'm pretty sure I do, but I put the links wherever I can. Please share the links to anybody you know that's on YouTube that's subscribed to my other channel and maybe don't know about this one. And then have them subscribe and make sure that they hit their notification button and turn it on to all. Because if you don't, YouTube will definitely take the other and say, you know what? It does have super chat. I'm seeing it. This one was delayed for some reason. Like the last one that I did last night on this channel, like I see a super chat, but as soon as I finished, the chat went away, and then they made me go back in and hit some button to make the chat show up. It's just more games, man. It's more games, and it just burns me up. But right now, I'm working with it until I get my other channel back up and running. But we really have to diversify when it comes down to multiple platforms, because that channel, if they shut it down and folks don't know about this one, there's so many YouTubers I thought just stopped making videos. I mean, they just stopped sending me notifications. Then a random will pop up and I'm like, man, I thought this dude stopped making videos. That is how aggressively they are attacking conservative YouTubers. So everything that you do to help really is needed and appreciated. Okay. So God bless y'all. God bless America. I'm going to post all the links if you want to support the channel below this as soon as I end the chat. Other than that, y'all, let's go, Brandon. Oh, I'm sure I'm on a list now for saying that. Anyway, God bless y'all. See y'all next time in Kevin's Corner. Let's bounce. Let's go. I ain't scared to say it. I'll say it. I'll say it. Let's go, Brandon. Yeah. Take care.